Not gonna lie.
So start with the y equals mx plus b, and then maybe if you want to think about this in steps, step one would be to identify the b value, which is the y-intercept. So what's the b value in number one? -2. So I'll say b equals -2. And then step two would be identify slope. Because slope is the m value. And every slope-intercept equation has a number in the m spot and a number in the b spot. So what did you guys get for rise over run in number one? Up 3 over 1. Let's look. No, it's easier for me up close. Yeah. Than it is for you. So I'm going to start here. Count rise. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Yep. So our answer then is y equals 3x minus 2. Put the slope in the m spot. Put the y-intercept in the b spot. Okay, number 2, more difficult. I didn't even give you a line. This is a little bit like the zombie concept, is that we need to figure out what line we could make so that it goes through the pumpkin. So step one we can do.
Oh, I see.
Step one is the y-intercept b would be 0, 2, so b equals 2. And then step two, we have to figure out what rise over run, or in this case, I guess I'd rather do a fall over run, will get us to the pumpkin. Anybody feel like they've got a slope that would get us there? Tyler? Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1 will get us there. It's not the only answer. Did anybody else get a different slope that they think would work? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 2. So down 4 over 2, same thing. Are there any other ones? What about 1, 2, 3? You could do something like down 3 over 2. It wouldn't hit in the first point, but then the next one, 1, 2, 3 over 2, would just get the corner. What about 1 over 1? Down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. No.
Down 3 over 1.
Let's try down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1.
That would probably be the best.
Down 3 over 1 would hit the corner.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it would hit it though. So there's more than one slope that would hit it. I would say down 2 over 1 or down 4 over 2, which is actually the same slope. It's probably best. So we'll go -2x plus 2 for our equation. Okay, let's look at your zombie handout. See how far you got on it. There's a lot of lines to graph. A lot of points. It's gonna be kind of hard to check, but here's like the order that the like letters would go in. maybe there was one or two that you struggled to get right. But if you get the majority right, you're in a good place. Who was absent Friday? Anybody have a question about the lines? Hitting those zombies? Okay, well, you get credit for your work. Good job. Let's do a few notes. The assignment sheets on the back. Remember the assignment sheets on the back of your dummy handout. Don't lose it.
I don't know how many deals.
Alright, so understanding slope-intercept form was chapter 4, section 1. Chapter 4, section 2 is writing equations given different information. So it's pretty much just like a couple of challenges. Like if we give you this information, can you make an equation? If we give you that information, can we give you an equation? So today, our challenge is to write an equation just provided slope and any random point. And tomorrow we're going to do it, and they're not even going to, the problem won't even tell you slope. The problem will just tell you 2 points. So you have to just be really comfortable with what's required equation of a line with a slope of 3 that goes through 2, 1. We could draw a picture, we could graph it, and maybe that would be helpful. Maybe I'll start with that. Okay, it's not necessary to graph. 2 C's in the word necessary? Okay, it's not necessary to graph, but it'll be helpful this first time. So I'll draw a picture. It's up to you if you want to. You can look at mine. Try to do a good job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we need to know to write any equation, we need the m value and we need the b value. We need the slope and the y-intercept. So that's what we're trying to figure out. It goes through here. All right, so m is given in number 1. So we could say if we're supposed to be writing y equals mx plus b, and it says slope 3, we have y equals 3x plus b. We need to know b. We need to now figure out the y-intercept. And so we don't have it. They give us this point, which is not on the y-axis. Not helpful. So maybe I'll try drawing a picture and we'll figure out the y-intercept. So I'll count up 1, 2, 3 over 1. And then I'll count down 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay, I'm getting closer to the y-intercept. I still don't know it. Count 1, 2, 3 over 1. And there it is. There's the y-intercept. So through graphing, we found b. Through graphing, we found b. So we'll do y equals 3x, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 5. We found the y-intercept through graphing. Now, you don't want to have to graph every time. So we're actually going to use the equation instead of drawing the picture. Anybody have a question about how we wrote the equation in our first attempt? Now, here's what you're going to actually want to do without graphing. All right, step 1 is to plug in slope. Same as I just did. So we would have 3x plus b. Step 2, plug in x and y from given point. So this is going to be a little bit like our direct variation equation. So given 2, 1 is x and y, I'm going to take that equation and it's going to look like 1 equals 3 times 2 plus b. See the y and the x? I actually put this x and this y in there. So I put 2 in the x spot and I put 1 in the y spot. So now we could solve for b. So let's solve this equation. It's going to be 1 equals 6 plus b. We're very close to finding b. Subtract 6 from both sides. And negative 5 equals b. So my graph was right. Negative 5 is b. I started with the picture, and now I'm doing it with algebra. So step 4, plug in b. So y equals 3x minus 5. So I just solved that problem 2 ways. The first way is to draw it with graph paper and figure out slope and y-intercept. The second way is to use the algebra. Which way do you guys like better? Just plugging in? It's good to hear.
I just trying to find.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's do another one. Make it a little more quickly. Here, these are our last 2 examples. Let's see how far we get. Slope is 3 and it goes through this point. Write an equation. All right, step 1 is to plug in slope. So we have y equals 3x plus b. And what we don't know is b. Step 2, I'm going to plug the given x and y into the equation. So 5 equals 3 times negative 2 plus b. And then I'm going to go ahead and solve. So 5 is negative 6 plus b. Put your little line in. Add 6, add 6. We found b using the ordered pair. Libby? Great question. Okay. Let me just clarify what this y is. This is a y coordinate, not an intercept. Okay, if it was the y-intercept, the x value would be 0, right? If they were giving us an intercept, it would be 0, 5. And if it was 0, 5, I'd put the 5 in right here. This is actually some random point on the line. When we use the random point, we're going to plug in the y value here and the x value here, and that helps us solve for b. So the point on the line with 0 would be 0, 11. And if you draw a picture, you'd see that. So you really need to start to hear the difference between just a y-coordinate, which is any y point, and a y-intercept, which is actually on the y-axis. I think that's the most confusing part. You guys want to try number 3? Let's see. Let's see what you do. I'll wait. And I do encourage you to read the textbook. It's chapter 4-2. I'll be right there. That might even help you kind of understand what we're doing up there.
Is correct.
Some good answers here. Good, right there. I'm just stop at five now.
Wait,
Yeah.
isn't this one? Oh, it's
Yeah, but you gotta like
okay.
stop at the equation.
Is that
No, this is y.
okay.
So it should go on that side.
Oh, okay.
Right there. Good. Now don't stop here. Write the equation. Don't stop at just finding b. Write the equation. A lot of you guys are stopping without an equation. Good. Okay, good job. I'll run through this and then I will pass out your test. So I know that y equals negative 1x plus b. We must find the b value. It'll be like 0, comma b, like an intercept. So I'll put the negative 7 in for y, that's x comma y. I'll put the 4 in for x, and that's going to help me figure out b. So this is negative 7 equals negative 4 plus b. Add 4, add 4. Negative 3 equals b. I'm walking around and I see a lot of people stopped here. Don't stop. The objective was to write the equation. So it's negative 1x minus 3. Go ahead and put that b value in the equation and box that. The equation's the answer, not the b. Okay, so you can use any point and you plug that in for x and y, and that'll help you identify b. All right, get out a red pen to do test correction. While I'm doing this, you guys go ahead and fill out your assignment sheet on the black of your copy for your assignment just for today. And you can start it if you want. You can start your assignment while I'm passing out your test.
I'm just gonna go get my hair and now I'm gonna go. Yeah. Now I gotta get getting styled.
I didn't write that one down, but I think you can write it. Oh wait, I'm on.
Every question was worth 5 points.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Make sure they've been entered incorrectly.
I had a weight belt on. Not that it's kind of a pretty cool like that. It's very much like that. If I want to no. Right? Because you have a ton of pressure on your stomach. It's meant for your
Oh! Oh!
I've seen a video. You ever seen those guys that get bench pressing and pairs of tech just goes like this. The guy who broke his bicep just shot off like a slingshot. I'm sorry, I cannot watch videos like that anymore. It's not bad, it just makes me. Oh my god, that's gonna happen.
You over 6? Let's just simplify it.
It's always good to make fun of people. You always make fun of people. It's always good to always good. Yeah, you call my buddy up. My buddy, my friend's the guy in this school.
Any other questions on
Well, I only wore this one because my other hoodie keeps you warm, but it's like not like yeah. Well, it's like thick and stuff like it's comfortable. It's just like it better be. Mommy's credit card. Already set. This boy's just up at bed. Have you seen this? No. That's illegal, guys. They're completely. So sad. Oh yeah, baby. You guys trying to oh yeah, baby. I like that. Hey, what's that?
but I give you 4 out of 5, which is a lot more than half. Alright, 9 and 10. 9 and 10. Anybody feel they earned more credit than was awarded on 9 and 10? Oh, I got 3. I don't have 4. She explained 3 to me. That is test 4. Before you guys ask me about it, let's look at the answer.
Wait, how did I get that?
We killed it. Awesome.
Oh, it's because I came to the line. That's so crazy. I thought it just had to be a point.
I really need to check that.
Dude, I should just.
You know what works is this.
Dad just big costume. No. Oh, it was hilarious last night. Were you watching? Did you watch that?
Alright, so on 11, 12, and 13, I'll highlight what you had to do for full credit. The directions say write a direct variation equation. If you did not write y equals 5x and y equals 7x, you did not get full credit. So lots of you came up with the correct answer, but you didn't do part 1, which is to actually write the equation. And in the directions, it says to write a direct variation equation, then solve. So you guys jumped from here to solving without pausing at the equation. So I did take a few points for that. Still got more than half credit, but I did take a few points for that. Now, are there questions on 11 or 12 or 13? Go ahead and correct it if you didn't do it. Write the equation down. You did not. You guys ran through the steps wonderfully, but you did not pause to write the equation. Alright, there's 13, 14, 15, and 16. 17 and 18. I'm sure we're doing something.
Sorry, Libby.
So the work here on 17 is correct. Just drop the negative sign. Negative 200 plus 23 would be negative 177. That would have been full crap. That would have been a hundo.
Dude, it was so nice yesterday. Temperature rise. Yeah, it was. It's beautiful. Want to miss all temperature yesterday?
What are you doing? Adding 9 each time? In number 18? Yeah, 9 or 10. You identify?
Yeah.
7, 9. What did you have granted, you know? But, right, that's the thing. So I think you just rewrote these. You just recognized the 3 times. You know, after you have to write it different. Alright, don't leave here with these. Here's the last. Anyway, mostly you need to do 19 and 20. Alright, Aaliyah, I'm gonna give you half. Alright, when you're done with corrections, put your test and your corrections in this front basket. You do have homework tonight. I am here after school if you want to look at your tests longer, or if you need help on the homework.